instead what you hear like and then like immediately the demon baby returns like cries about like The Exorcist. Hello and welcome to Cassette Take, where you can eject wherever you want, but please don't forget to rewind. I'm Ethan.
I'm Annmarie.
And Annmarie, I would always like to say to you, what did we just go see?
Yep.
But I think we know what we both just saw. We just saw Tim Burton's Deadpool.
Oh, I thought you were going to say Tim Burton's Dune Part 2, but yeah, Deadpool as well.
Why not both? Annmarie, what did we just go see?
We saw Beetlejuice, the sequel to Beetlejuice. That's too many.
You said it 3 times, so we're pretty much screwed.
Dang it!
There's Michael Keaton now in the distance outside our window. Oh no, that's a weird man.
Michael, stay back.
Please keep your distance.
Sir.
So anyway, so we just got out Beetlejuice. Tim Burton returning at the helm for Michael Keaton's return in the acting chair of the character of Beetlejuice.
Gosh, you know what? Don't do shots every time we say Beetlejuice. There's gonna be too many. I was just looking up. So Beetlejuice was 1988. So wow, that's like. Hold on, doing math real quick. 2024 minus 1998.
1988.
Yeah, do the math. Anyways, it's been a really long time, and Tim Burton is back, and I feel like I just watched Wednesday.
I think it's a little more outgoing than Wednesday.
Oh, it sure is.
Like, okay, for all of you who are wondering, all right, so like, what is this? This is the sequel to Beetlejuice. Like, does it pick off after the original? Is it like a reboot or whatever? It's a direct sequel. It's a straight up direct sequel.
Yeah.
With Winona Ryder returning and Catherine O'Hara as well. But this time we have JennaOrtega in the cast, along with some other big additions that I loved, but were they necessary?
No.
We'll discuss that in a moment.
Oops.
But this movie, the plot, like, I would love to describe to you what this movie is in a nutshell, but like Deadpool, it's essentially just like Tim Burton's Deadpool. Like, that's the best way I can describe it. Like, because this movie is sincerely all over the place. Like, and I'm not sure if it's intentionally that way because, that's how Beetlejuice is. But I think it's even more all over the place than the first one.
Oh.
By quite a bit.
Oh, yeah. It felt like it didn't know what it wanted to be because there's, like, musical elements. And then there's little, like, thriller/horror. And then there's comedy in it, which is what the first Beetlejuice was. But it felt like just very chaotic. Like, Tim Burton was given full reign and they're like, go for it. And it's like, I'm going to make this the most craziest thing you've ever seen in your life.
Yeah, and I don't know, Tim Burton, he's usually good at like the balance of like making the dark and, like, I don't know, like, okay, I don't know where I'm going with this because, again, we're just coming out of this movie and it was so all over the place that it's really hard to process, my thoughts here with it. It's just they throw so many things like this stuff with, they got Catherine O'Hara's character back, and then Winona Ryder's character back. Then you introduce a new character with JennaOrtega. Then you get rid of characters, which we won't say at the moment, but they get rid of characters that you don't see returning in this movie from the first one. And then they also got, like, they add all these other characters throughout the movie that have their own storylines and subplots, and it just kind of, you would think it would all culminate together in one thing, but it culminates, like, it's like a little culmination here, like a little earlier, and then like a bigger culmination here of something that like wraps some stuff up. Like, it's just, you don't know, your brain just can't process all these different storylines at the same time. And again, like, was that his intent? Because if so, he did a great job. Like Tim Burton directing this thing to make it go bonkers.
Yeah.
Like the different genres and blending of genres is just traditional Beetlejuice, like you were saying. But like this one, oh my gosh, like it's like Beetlejuice broke through the screen and was like, "Hey, you wanna smoke some death sticks? I'll join you." Like, and then you just go on this ride, this death-drugged ride, and boom!
Well, the only problem I really had was the ending. I checked my phone because I knew this was an hour 44-minute movie.
Shame on you.
Sorry, I know, I'm bad. But I wanted to see how much time was left. And when I checked, there was only 15 minutes. And we hadn't even gotten to the main part. Like the main villain, I would say. I was like, what is going on?
Bro, I mean, I didn't even know who the main... I mean...
There's like two, but...
I mean, Beetlejuice is technically always the main villain, per se. But...
No, he's an anti-hero. Anyways...
What is he? I don't know. You just... Okay, go on.
Let's start with the recast. Of course, Winona Ryder is back. And I love Winona Ryder. I'm so sad that she doesn't get more stuff, but she is always great in this kind of weird stuff. And Jenna Ortega, do you think this was her audition for Johnny in Dune?
This was her audition?
No. Well, did you know that she auditioned to play Johnny?
Oh, I think she... Didn't she say, like, she thinks that's what she was auditioning for?
Oh, yeah, but I hope it was, because I do like Jenna Ortega, and I know she plays very similar characters a lot of times, like Wednesday and everything like that, but I really liked her in this. Like, I don't know why. She just portrays these kind of characters really well.
Yeah, like the very kind of humdrum, dry, but, like, great comedic timing, kind of, like, gothic thing going on. Like, it's a match made in heaven with Tim Burton.
Yeah.
And so when I heard that she was announced for this movie, even though I had not seen the first one until, like, last week, I would say that, like, it was, I just knew it was a match made in heaven, just based off, like, what she's done in the past with Wednesday, and then, of course, Tim Burton's, repertoire. So, I mean, like, it's... And we got exactly what we thought we would get with, like, that combination in this movie.
Yeah.
Of course, accompanied by Danny Elfman's iconic score, who also returned for the music, for the score for this movie, and absolutely, it was brilliant. I will say, AMC kind of let me down with the sound levels here.
Yeah.
I feel like they could have been much higher, and they were not. So, tisk tisk, shame on you.
We love you, though. AMC A-list, come on.
Big sigh. But no, a lot of people did come back for this movie, and I think everyone was happy to work on it. Like, you can tell the cast had a great time working together on this. Michael Keaton, of course, really leaning into it. The role of Beetlejuice. You can tell that he's not done yet. He's not done yet with this role. And
maybe.
We'll see.
Spoiler.
We'll see. We'll talk about that. But, like, yeah, this movie, if you like the first Beetlejuice...
You'll like this one.
I think overall, yeah, you'll like this one.
You won't think it's as good, though. I think the first one's, like, really, really good.
I think the first one is much more cohesive.
Yeah.
But, like, it depends on... Like, if you wanted this movie to really just lean into what the previous Beetlejuice was, then I think you might like this more. If that was your goal, like, to just be like, okay, I want Beetlejuice in the second one. I don't want to be like Super Beetlejuice. And then this is exactly that. And, the crowd we went with had a fun time with it. They were laughing their butts off.
There was really funny comedic bits in that.
Yeah, and, we had a fun time with it. There's one scene in particular that I was dying at. Like, it was something that's so simple and that was introduced earlier in the film. And then I thought, like, when it was first introduced, it's just, like, oh, okay, that won't be interesting. That was just like a one-time gag.
Mhm.
And then it comes back later, and I was just like, whoa! Like, I just laughing my
Are
butt
you
off.
talking about the ending?
It's part of the ending.
Yeah.
I
know.
but yeah, this movie was a fun time.
Yeah.
And Annmarie, what would you say was without spoilers, do you have a favorite part you can talk about without giving too much away?
Oh, man. I think the ending's really funny. I think it is emotionally, like, you feel, like, emotional during a certain sequence in the underworld / dead realm, whatever they call it. So I really enjoyed that part of it. And again, seeing Winona and JennaOrtega kind of act together, that was something I was looking forward to because I just feel like JennaOrtega's like emulating Winona Ryder's career, and so I hope she continues to have success throughout.
Yeah. So I mean, I'm looking forward to see like if they work together again or
That would be cool.
yeah, because they seem to have really great chemistry.
Yeah.
Both on and off set, like from what I've seen from behind the scenes and
yeah.
like on red carpets and all that. So yeah,
Super sweet.
exactly. So I also we'd be remiss if we didn't bring up one of the crazy subplot storylines that made the movie kind of go all over the place was the character of Willem Dafoe.
Oh yeah.
Willem Dafoe's character, who I loved. Like I think like his character, the idea of his character is hilarious and awesome. I don't think this isn't a spoiler or anything, but basically Willem Dafoe's character is an actor who died, but like it was an action star actor who used to play a cop, and in the underworld he's an actual cop, but he does his jobs as a cop as an actor.
You know what's so funny? He reminded me, you won't get this reference, but he reminded me of Steve Martin's character in Only Murders in the Building, and I thought that was super
Gosh
cute.
darn it.
Oh,
Everyone's
man.
talking about that show,
It's
and
fine.
like, I'm not even kidding you, not just you, just my business partner, like everyone is talking.
Season 5, baby, let's go.
James, if you're listening, man, you got friends. You got friends.
You.
Oh gosh. But yeah, this movie was a fun time.
He's not in it too much, Willem Dafoe, but he's in it enough.
Yes.
Yeah.
So Willem Dafoe, but like his character though, it just felt like it should have gotten its own movie, or like it should have been its own
Spin-off.
Yeah. I would love a spin-off of his character.
That'd actually be so much fun.
That would be great. It kind of also gave me a little bit of the vibe of like the Mattel office, like corporate office from Barbie. Like that same chasing after Barbie as she's running away, and they're all like running very like like a video game character. But yeah, I just it as much as I love it, Willem Dafoe's character just made a subplot that made the movie like very unfocused and all over the place. Again, maybe that was the intent. I don't know, but I enjoyed that part quite a bit.
Me too.
So now with that, Annmarie, I think it's time we fast forward on to some spoiler talk. But before we do, what would you give Beetlejuice out of 10 Bobs?
Bob. I'm not oh gosh, I'm gonna get hate for this. I'm not the biggest fan of Tim Burton. It's just not my style, really.
They're gonna get Bert ton of shit.
I know. So I would give it, it's not as good as the first one. So I would say a 7, which I think is pretty high and fair for it.
Yeah. Like, I mean, honestly, I would probably give it a 7 too. But if if Burton was intentionally going, like this is intentionally gonna be bonkers in all the right ways. I mean, for a Beetlejuice sequel, it did exactly what it needed to do.
Yeah.
And, it succeeded in doing just that, except taking it to 11 in Beetlejuice standards. So I give it a 7 or 8.
There my God.
7 or 8 bobs out of 10.
Nice.
So with that, let's fast forward on. Oh, well, before we do, if you haven't seen the movie, are you guys excited for it? Let us know your takes on our tapes in those comments down below, and then come back here and then watch or listen to our spoiler review. But if you don't want spoilers, go ahead and fast forward on to our next topic. Timestamps will be in the description, so feel free. Now, spoiler. Annmarie. What was that ending?
What? Okay, so there's two, like, villains besides Beetlejuice, but I consider him an anti-hero. JennaOrtega's character falls in love with a boy who's actually a murderer and actually is dead and trying to switch their lives. So, Winona goes and saves her daughter. Great, whatever. Cool.
Yeah.
And then she makes a contract to marry Beetlejuice. And so the wedding's at the end, and this is where I looked. I'm like, oh, they have 15 minutes left. Because they also had introduced Beetlejuice's dead lover, Dahlia, I want to say.
You're asking me to remember names from this movie?
Oh, no. And so she, like, busts in when they're doing a song and dance number. It was really chaotic. And then there were sandworms everywhere.
Yeah, and then there's, like, a literal soul train.
Yeah,
Like, but it was like the vibes of like the 70s like Soul Train show, you know. So it's just really all over the place. Constant fourth wall breaking.
Yeah, I forgot about that. I really enjoyed that. Like, Beetlejuice does that. He fourth wall breaks all the time.
Yeah, like I said, Tim Burton's Deadpool. And I like how when the sandworms came back, you were kind of like looking at me like.
Yeah. Well, it just made me think of, like, oh my gosh, how many movies, like, kind of called back to Dune? Like, Free Guy did it, Furiosa did it.
The thing that's funny, though, is that this one kind of, like, I feel like intentionally poked at Dune.
Oh, 100%.
Because I'm not sure if the first one intentionally was, like, a reference to Dune or not, but this one was like, oh, yeah, because, like, the sand was, like, shuffling.
Yeah.
And I'm like, that wasn't in the first one, from what I recall.
Yeah.
So, like, you straight up just kind of, like, were parodying Dune. And I'm like, I'm here for it. That's funny.
Oh, but it made me crack up. But it does leave it open-ended for a third one.
Yeah, so do you want to go over that ending?
Yeah, so, Dahlia?
I don't know.
Oh my gosh.
Crazy bitch. Crazy stapled dead bitch.
She comes in, and then they defeat her, and then Beetlejuice is like, okay, I'm leaving, peace out. But Winona Ryder and JennaOrtega get to go free, and Catherine...
Oh, her character, you know...
Catherine's character is...
Dead.
Is dead. And she has to go into the underworld. So it does leave it open-ended where her character could haunt Winona Ryder again. And also, there is, like, a part in the very end where Winona Ryder sees Beetlejuice again. It's all over. Like, I feel like I'm doing a horrible job explaining this.
Like, okay, so basically, it ends after another attempted wedding.
Yes.
With Winona Ryder's character. And you would think it kind of ends there after they say Beetlejuice, Beetlejuice, Beetlejuice 3 times and it goes away. And then some other stuff resolves. But, you know, then it's like they hug it out and it's like, okay, things are back to normal. Yeah. Then it's just like Winona Ryder's character is kind of like giving a final narration. It's like, wow, I spent so much... I felt like this was Tim Burton directly talking to the camera, by the way. But it was just kind of like, I spent so much time in death. Now it's time to spend time in life. And then, like, it's just she's going through these moments with JennaOrtega, like her daughter's character, and just kind of like living life. She's getting married. JennaOrtega's character's having a kid. And, they, like, oh my gosh. This was the moment, by the way, that I was referring to earlier. So, like, earlier in the movie, there's this whole thing where Beetlejuice first meets up with Winona Ryder's character again for the first time. And it's like, hey, you're going to have my kid. And then, like a baby just, like, blows up from her womb.
It was like Chucky.
And, yeah, it was basically like a Chucky doll, like, gremlin, like... just like puking up and vomiting and shitting everywhere.
Fighting people.
Like, it was just like a little gremlin boy. Like, but it was hilarious. I'm like, oh, that's funny. And then so basically, as Jenna Ortega's giving like this, like hopeful kind of like birth to this, presumably a nice, beautiful baby. Instead, what you hear like, and then like immediately the demon baby returns like climbs up on like the Exorcist. He's just like climbing up the walls upside down, like goes ahead and touches a fucking bites a light bulb, and just like gets electrocuted, falls down on Ortega's lap, and it's like mother, like mama.
Oh my god, I can't stop. It sounds so fake, but it's so real.
And then you find out it's just a dream, and then she wakes up next to Beetlejuice, and it's like, wow, I had the worst dream. And then it's just like, oh, that was a dream. And then it ends.
It felt like an end credit scene, like Beetlejuice will return.
Well, to be fair, you have Beetlejuice, then you have Beetlejuice Beetlejuice.
You
gotta make a third one called Beetlejuice Beetlejuice. Like,
yeah.
Like, I mean, I'm not going crazy by saying that. It's not too far fetched.
Well, if this one does well, I totally think there'll be a third one.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
And I think it will do well. I think there's like a good enough crowd out there, a lot of Tim Burtonites, and a lot of people that love his team up with Jenna Ortega on Wednesday, to where they would go see this movie.
I kind of want like a Tim Burton universe. TBU.
Okay, no. No. His isolated projects are wonderful art forms. We don't need a Tim Burton cinematic.
Winona Ryder, Jenna Ortega as Wednesday, Ian.
What, you could get the Corpse Bride in there too?
Yes.
I really love, I should have said this in the non-spoiler review, but like I really love the blending of the claymation, the stop motion claymation, and the real life stuff. It's like, you would think it wouldn't work nowadays with technology, but it's just such a stylistic choice that it works so well.
It's so Tim Burton.
It's very Tim Burton, but it's also just a very, generally, like, an awesome choice. And, yeah, I think, I don't know, do you have anything else to say about this crazy mindfuck of a movie called Beetlejuice? Beetlejuice?
Your Beetlejuice voice was too funny.
Nah, don't worry. I'm not going to be doing it anymore. What are you talking about?
Go see this movie. There you go.
Go see this movie. Okay, yeah, we're going. It's going to get cringy now. But yeah, go see this movie. And let us know what you think. And also let us know your takes on our tapes in the comments down below. I mean, we're excited to hear your thoughts on it. Did you think it was a mindfuck like we did? Did you think that like
cinema,
it was straight up cinema, or like you're just a Tim Burton fan and you got exactly what you wanted and you're like, yeah, this was a good time?
I loved everyone in their striped like pajamas.
Yeah,
I thought that was cute.
It was cute. But oh gosh, okay, that was a dark thought. No, I shouldn't bring it up.
Okay.
I was like, you said striped pajamas, and like, and we're talking about movies, and then you probably guessed what my mind went.
So bad.
Yes. Anyway, moving on. Fast forwarding on to our next topic here, Annmarie. What would that be?
Well, there was a little movie trailer for Minecraft that came out. Now, the nerds went wild over this, basically. So, if you don't know, this Minecraft movie was announced a while back. Like, I think it was 2015 when it got announced. And now we officially have a trailer for it. And it's kind of on the fence for a lot of people. Now, Do you play Minecraft? I don't even know.
I played Minecraft when I was in I don't know, what was it, like my freshman year of high school,
Mm.
and I enjoyed it. I thought it was fun. I never played it with friends though. I was alone.
Loser.
But anyway, no, like I play like because I didn't know how the server situation worked or anything like that, and also I'm just generally more of a one player kind of guy. But yeah, I like building things, and it was so much fun. And I thought the piggies were adorable.
I feel like Minecraft was huge because like it went from Legos like in real life to like virtual life.
Yeah.
And so Minecraft kind of blew up from there. So we got this Minecraft movie trailer, and let me just say this. Video game movies haven't always been great, as we know. They really suck sometimes. But
No, I'm on the borderland of that statement.
oh, poor Borderland.
Anyway, continue.
But there has been success, like the Mario movie that we just got. So here's my thinking. Trailers don't say everything. And if they really can make the Minecraft movie meta, I do think it could be successful.
Yes. We'll have to see where this thing goes, because this was just a teaser trailer to give you vibes. And if these are the sole vibes of the movie, it's really leaving a lot to be desired.
There was only one trailer. It was a minute and a half.
Well, it's a teaser. I wouldn't even say it's a trailer. It's just a straight up teaser, because we didn't really get plot details or anything like that. And I gotta say that, like, I'm worried. I was kind of hoping that it would be not one of those like Jumanji things where it's like, oh no, we're like caught up in the video game world. Whoa!
I thought Dwayne Johnson was gonna pop up all of a sudden.
Yeah,
Like, Dwayne,
right.
what are you doing here?
And like Kevin Hart coming out of nowhere, like, weren't you just in a video game movie? And then now you're in a video game movie, and then
They got Jason Momoa.
oh, to replace The Rock.
Yeah.
Wow, talk about placeholder. But anyway, so just it's God. Okay, like I was hoping it would be something where it's someone waking up in like this world of Minecraft, like, and just kind of like, I don't know, kind of like how the Minecraft experience is, right? Like where you wake up in the middle of nowhere and you are left to your own devices and got to figure out how to build stuff and like kind of go from there, and you like just end up building crazy shit, and like with all this bonkers stuff going on around you, maybe you meet up with some other people along the way. I mean, like, I thought that would be a good way of going about it, and I thought that's what it would do. But judging by this teaser trailer, and who knows, maybe that could be something of what might happen. We don't know based off this teaser trailer, but just based off it alone, if we were exclusively just going off of this teaser trailer, it really seems it's leaning like into the Jumanji direction. And nothing wrong, like nothing against the Jumanji movies. I haven't seen too many of the newer ones, but like I just don't think that's the direction Minecraft should have gone.
Yeah, I thought it was going to be an animated movie. I was really thinking Mario, but it didn't go in that direction. My only hope is, and if they're smart, I really hope they did this, but wouldn't it be funny if they met some Minecraft YouTubers like Dream or any of the other ones in the world? That would kind of be funny and kind of meta. I don't know if they're that smart, though, to be totally honest.
Judging by the teaser, I don't know.
Yeah.
I mean, it did get like some of the aesthetic vibes down. I just hope that like it plays into the idea of like Minecraft being like a very calm, tranquil, but also hectic kind of thing, like, because that's what it is. It's a very creative sheet of paper, like, that you can do anything on, really.
Mm-hmm.
And in the teaser, they kind of suggest they're aware of that, but the execution of that teaser doesn't really suggest it itself,
Listen, I always go back to the Lego movie. That trailer sucked. And the Lego movie was one of the best animated films of that year and even of this decade. So I really hope that they're hiding something for us. Some diamonds under the lava.
Some
I don't
diamonds
know.
under the cubed rough.
We don't play Minecraft that much.
Well, I mean, you play more than I. In fact, you were showing me all over your house the other day, and
It
like,
was
Ethan.
soothing.
Oh my gosh. Okay, y'all have to hear this. Annmarie handed me over the controller, and she's like, I'm like, hey, I gave her a disclaimer. I'm like, hey, you do realize if you hand me this controller, it's like for your Minecraft account, you're probably gonna lose everything. And she's like, no, you're gonna be fine. I'm like, you sure? And she's like, go ahead. She hands me the controller, and like, I immediately die in lava.
He jumps into the lava.
And then when I respond, I get mad and break a few windows in her house. In the game.
You just outed me for playing Minecraft. Oh, well.
Is that a thing to be outed on?
I feel outed. Oh, man. What do you guys think of the Minecraft movie trailer? Do you think this could be a golden nugget? Do you think we're totally wrong?
Do you play Minecraft yourself and feel like apparently if
Again.
someone tells you others that you play Minecraft, you're suddenly outed?
And you give someone your controller and then they kill you and then they lose everything in your world? That's really disappointing. It's fine.
Friends.
Let us
Let us know your takes on our tapes in those comments down below, especially if you played Minecraft. We want to hear your opinions especially, because you have more insight than probably either of us do.
Yeah.
So, all right. But with that, Annmarie, what are we fast-forwarding on to next year?
Next year?
Next year.
Oh, I thought you said next year. I was like,
You guys gotta wait for one whole year for the next video.
No. So, I recently did Anna Needs about this.
Go check it out.
Go check it out. Link in the description. It was recently rumored that one of our favorite directors, Luca Guadagnino, when I did that, guys, I won't even lie, I did the Italian.
Yeah, I can vouch for her on that. She did the Italian
Oh, man.
thing with her hand.
Luca is rumored to be talking to DC about directing a movie. Now, I don't think this is right. I love Luca, but his movies don't really scream superhero movies.
I love this.
What?
I does love this.
Why does you love it?
I'll tell you why I does. So basically with Luca here, how did Marvel get its success? It took directors from small movies, and Kevin Feige's like, I fucking love that vibe and like the style this guy has, and I want him to put that style into a Marvel movie. And that's kind of what really made the success of the MCU, partially, where all that culminates and then actually ends up creating like bringing these directors more to the surface, and giving them bigger budgets to work with on their own future films later on. Now with Luca, he's already gotten to that point where he's worked on bigger movies, like Challengers with Zendaya and all that, but I wouldn't say they're like the biggest of the big, movies, because I mean, Challengers still is a relatively low budget movie, and didn't make too much at the box office, sadly.
Yeah.
Because it's a great film. You should see Challengers if you haven't. But I feel like if James Gunn sees, like, say, saw Challengers, right, or watched Call Me by Your Name, or maybe he got like a sneak preview of his new movie. Was it Queer?
Yeah, Queer.
Yeah, with Daniel Craig. Maybe he saw something in there and is like, I need to get this guy in a room. I want him to do this project with that style. And hey, if there's another project with Luca Guadagnino's style, I'm there. You're there.
Yeah.
We're both there. We're Luca fan boys and girls here.
Oh, absolutely. I just don't see it. But I was looking, so in my original Aim and Needs, I said, I think anything, the Wonder Woman TV show, I think he could do something with that. But looking into it more and thinking about it more, just James Gunn's upcoming DC slate, he could do Supergirl, or I think even better, The Authority. Because The Authority, and I don't know them as much, so please don't torch me in the comments about The Authority, but
They have the authority to do so.
yes. They're very, bigger than life, and they are celestial beings, and I know that's a Marvel phrase, but just larger than life, and believe that they are the boys. They do bad stuff for good reason, and so I think Luca could do something like that.
I mean, I can't speak to the celestial part, but maybe, because one of the key things with Luca's style is sensuality.
Mm-hmm.
Not sexuality, sensuality. And he's really good at that. And always makes a point of emphasis in each of his films. Now, what if it's like we get with his potential alleged DC participation here, sensual celestials kind of thing?
Yeah.
I don't know. Just like...
Well, then that's why I was saying those three, because I feel like those three film and TV shows are that. I don't think he's getting Batman. I don't think he's getting Booster Gold. I definitely don't think he's getting Green Lantern. I think he kind of has to work with something like that, something not human.
Yeah, something that he could make human, but something that is inherently on the surface not human. So I think he's really good at making things truly human, not someone trying to be human. It's just everything he does is so sincere in his work, and it shows. So maybe it might lean into that humanistic aspect. As to what he does, I don't know. But again, I hear Luca Guadagnino and DC, and I'm excited. I'm on board.
Yeah, and I like how you said it. James Gunn is taking a play out of Marvel and Kevin Feige's book. And yeah, I think, you have a director who has been successful. Why not? And yeah, maybe he did see something in Queer that we haven't seen yet. So,
or how he directed Challengers with the tennis sequences that were so action packed.
That's so cool.
Can you imagine if he directed a fight scene like that?
Okay, you sold me.
Yeah,
I'm sold.
That's what I fucking thought. No, but hey guys, I guess now we're both excited for Luca participating in the DC, the upcoming DC universe. We're really excited. Are you guys excited? Are you a fan of Luca like we are? Do you think Challengers is a really good?
What movie do you think Luca should direct?
Yeah, movie, TV show, probably movie. I don't see him doing a TV show, to be honest with you.
Interesting.
But yeah, probably film. But yeah, hey guys, no matter what your takes are, let us know what they are on our tapes in those comments down below. And with that, Annmarie, fast forwarding on, what is our final topic of the day?
Okay, so our final topic of the day is there is 3 movies that are coming out back to back to back in November. Those three movies being Gladiator 2, Wicked, and then the following week, Moana 2. Now, Ethan and I have been seeing a lot of trailers for these movies just because we go to the movies a lot, and Ethan brought up a good question. He said, which one do you think will win the box office that weekend / the second week? And I think this is a really hard question, and I think you can argue any of them, to be honest.
Yeah, I mean, because you could say, oh, this is just one weekend where 2 of those 3 are coming out. what does Moana 2 have to do with that? It's like, well, honestly, if you come out the very next weekend, you have a lot to do with the box office results. We're talking overall box office. We're not just talking about opening weekend, right?
Yeah.
So having these 3 movies that are, I think all 3 of them are going to make a shit ton of money.
I hope so.
But I just think that between the 3, there's not going to be too much crossing with Gladiator and Wicked, unless they pull like a Barbenheimer situation. But honestly, based on the marketing, it doesn't seem like people are really leaning into it, even though you had some of the cast from Gladiator to try to make it happen. In fact, I think one of them tried to come up with a hashtag for it. I'm like, really? That's what you came up with?
Gladiator.
Ooh, I don't like that.
No,
I don't like that at all. As soon as those entered my ears, I want to throw up. But no. So this whole thing of like these 2 movies kind of having a lot of crossfire, I don't think is going to be too much of the case. In fact, I think they're kind of going to encourage each other, not on the same scale as Barbenheimer, because a lot of people that saw Barbie also saw Oppenheimer to pull that off. And this case, I think it's just going to be the women are going to go see Wicked, and more often than not, the men are going to go see Gladiator. And I think there's definitely going to be a little bit of like, oh yeah, let's do a Barbenheimer. Like we'll see both here and we'll see both here. There's going to be plenty of that. I mean, heck, we're going to be doing that. So, but I just don't think it will be the same as it was for like a Barbenheimer situation. Now, the following week is going to be Moana 2.
And that's where the crossover comes in.
That's where it's going to get crazy. Because they're both musicals with Wicked and Moana 2. They're both aiming at that like little girl audience, I think, for the most part, that like wants to bring their family, that also wants to see the movie because everyone has a little girl inside of them. Just not in the Beetlejuice sense.
Ethan's been singing Moana all day.
It's a big.
Oh gosh.
Yeah, the little girl.
So this is my only argument. I think Moana 2 will dominate. I also think Moana 2 will kind of do an Inside Out 2 and go pretty far and not highest rated, box office for an animated film.
Yeah.
So I think Moana 2 gets it just because it does lean more into that family aspect. I don't know about Wicked. I know Wicked is a 2-parter, but I feel like Wicked's 5 years too late.
I mean, it could be. It was really popular. I remember it being popular when I was in middle school. That's where it peaked, and it's not like we have a, Hamilton situation where they released a movie version, years later. It was one of the biggest stream things, because it came out only like a year or 2 after the original
production.
Yeah, production, or a few years, but it was pretty recent afterwards, relatively speaking.
Yeah.
Wicked's been around for a long time, and it is heavily relying, but I don't know, it is very cross-generational as well, now that I think about it, because it is Wizard of Oz based. And people think Wizard of Oz, they think, movies.
Well, I was kind of worried because they weren't playing into that until this new trailer came out, where they kind of started saying this is before Dorothy, because they weren't really playing into that. But you think of Wicked, and I would say most people can call out what that is. So I feel bad we're just like not including Gladiator 2 in the discussion. I think they'll make a lot of money. I don't think they'll make Moana 2
Also,
money.
Ridley Scott has been very, love him as a director, but man, recently has he been very hit or miss.
Yeah.
I mean, so much so that the director's cut for Napoleon I was initially excited for months back before I saw the original movie. After I saw the original movie, the theatrical cut of it, I'm just like, I'm just not sure another hour of more footage is really going to help it. But
So I took over France.
Yeah, so I took over France.
Throwback.
Go watch a Napoleon review. Yeah, no, it's just like I don't think that Ridley Scott, you can't really bank on his name too much anymore.
No.
But with something like a Gladiator 2, and based on the trailers, it seems like we got something good here. So I hope that's the case. I really want Ridley Scott to be marching back full strong, headstrong and all that. And because that man, let's be honest, he has a big ego. And
He needs this to do well.
yeah, so like I want him to be right here and like say, hey, I'm making a damn good film here, asshole. I want to be the asshole. Okay? I want to be wrong in saying Ridley Scott hasn't made a good movie in 2024.
Oh.
But he has to prove it. He has to prove it.
Yeah.
So,
and it just doesn't have the family aspect. So it's got to go to
Yeah.
Wicked or Moana 2, but I'm saying Moana 2.
yeah, and you brought up an interesting point though. I'll agree with you, by the way. Moana 2 is going to win that month. But you brought up an interesting point, like that Inside Out 2 would be dethroned by this movie, and I could not disagree more with you.
Oh, I 100% think it could.
I think it's going to make, at most, Frozen 2 money, or Frozen.
But that's really high,
It is really high, but I don't think it's going to make Inside Out 2 money. Unless, here's the thing, if it hits the same, which it's nearly impossible that it will, just based on its own subject matter, but if it hits those same universal beats that Inside Out 2 hits on, which again, I don't think it's at all possible it will do, then it would have that chance. Because with Inside Out 2, that is such a universal movie that people could see over and over again and not be tired of it. Like, I mean, I'm not surprised it made it as the greatest as the most successful animated film of all time at the box office. Moana 2, I'm sure it's going to do wonderful and fantastic at the box office because I think it's going to do so much better than the first one, which came out before COVID, right?
Yeah, so I was just looking it up. Inside Out, the first one came out in 2015 and made $858 million worldwide, and Moana 1 came out in 2016 and made $680 million worldwide.
Yeah.
So they're both similar in like how long it took.
Here's the thing though, with Moana, that movie was like the most streamed, if I believe this was correct for a little bit.
At the time.
Yeah. But in 2020, it was, or around recently, early 2020s, it was the most streamed movie on Disney Plus ever.
Yeah.
And maybe like during COVID and all that, people rediscovered the movie or what have you, or was that after COVID? I can't remember when. That was 2019 when
Disney Plus. Yeah.
So yeah, after or during COVID, people kind of rediscovered it and like got this big following for it. And maybe it got a lot more people excited about it, which is why I think it's probably going to make, it's going to be quite a big gap
It's going to
from the first one.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I just don't think it's going to have enough juice to make Inside Out 2 money.
I don't know. It depends on the rewatchability factor, too, because I think the Inside Out 2 has a great rewatchability factor.
Oh, absolutely.
And it's around the holiday, so I don't know. But again, Wicked and Gladiator 2 are big competitors for it. So I don't know how much that's going to eat away, but...
Yeah, I don't know. I don't think it will eat away too much. And I'm sure, honestly, with more and more people obviously getting A-list and like all these other subscriptions to make going to the movies easier again, because I'm looking at these lines where it's like A-list only members, and then you compare it to the lines where it's just, the normal plebs,
Peasants.
It's like the A-list line is longer now.
Yeah.
By like a significant amount. And it's just like, okay, wow. So I think more people are coming to see multiple movies more than once a month, and we'll see if that's the case here. And people are gonna go see Wicked, and then next week just go see Moana.
Yeah.
So
We'll see.
yeah, we'll see. But hey, guys, what do you guys think about this? Moana 2, do you think it's gonna be the winner of November, right?
Yes.
November. Or is it gonna be Gladiator 2? No chance. Or is it going to be
Wicked.
Because Wicked, honestly, it's got a lot of power to it, but I don't think it's gonna really take too much away from Moana 2. But yeah, hey guys, whatever you're thinking, let us know your takes on our tapes in those comments down below.
And as well, before we end today's episode, we want to thank you all. Ethan and I created this podcast a year ago, and it's been an absolutely fantastic time. We did not think we were ever going to get past maybe 15 subscribers, so thank you all to who subscribed, who've left comments, who have encouraged us, who've given us advice. For even the people who hate us, we love you.
Yeah, I mean, the beauty of film and TV and entertainment in general is the subjectivity of it all. And it all hits us in very, very different ways. And, say I hate something that Annmarie loves or vice versa. It's a sin. But, we all do this thing where we go watch this thing that we hate or love and we get a reaction out of it. And that it's beautiful. I think it's just beautiful that we can talk about it and just see something different in the same thing. And, I always hope that we can always have like a critical, like an educated and like a, good-spirited kind of conversation about these films and experiences we get when we see them. And I found that with Annmarie here on the podcast. And, I found that quite a few times in the comments section with you guys whenever you decide to join in and chirp in. And, I always love that. It always makes me feel good when people let me know and let Annmarie know like what your thoughts are. Like, so when we say like, let us know those comments down below, like your takes on our tapes, we genuinely love to hear from you. So, yeah, keep it up, guys. And we'll do the same.
Yeah, and we appreciate it. We really do. So.
Yeah. Wow. It's already been a year.
Oh, gosh.
That's crazy.
Our first one was Oppenheimer. Isn't that crazy to think about?
Yeah, which is why we reference Barbenheimer in this podcast.
1 year, let's go.
Yeah, year 1 of Cassette Take. But hey, we're happy that you guys have been ejected this far into our many podcasts and just this one in general. But hey, whether you have or haven't, and you plan on putting in later, whatever it is, just don't forget to like, subscribe for more, and just most importantly, do not forget to rewind. Otherwise, Beetlejuice will get you.
Oh no, we love you.
We love you guys. Thank you.